Okay, hello Cloud Gurus and welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we're going to look at multi-value answer policies. Now, I know what you're thinking after the last lecture. You're thinking, God, could this get any more complicated? The good news is multi-value answer policies are really simple. It's the same as simple routing with one key difference. So it allows you to configure Amazon Route53 to return multiple values, such as an IP address for your web servers in response to DNS queries. And you can specify multiple values for almost any record, but multi-value answer routing also allows you to check the health of each resource, so Route53 returns only the values for healthy resources. So what does that mean? Well, basically, this is exactly the same as simple routing. However, it allows you to put health checks on each record set. So let's go have a look at how this works in the AWS console. Okay, so here I am in the AWS console. If I go over to services and I go down to Route53, then I need to go into my hosted zones, and I'm going to click in here. And we don't have any record sets in there now. Let's go ahead and create a record set. Now, if you remember, if we selected simple, we pasted it in and we did it line by line. And that was the only way using simple DNS, as using simple routing policies, that we're able to do it. Well, what we can do now is we can remove this, and we can change this to simple to multi-value answer. Now, the cool thing here is we can associate it with a health check. So this is my Sydney one. I'm going to go ahead and hit Sydney. I'm going to associate it with a health check, and I'm going to associate this to Sydney. So let's go ahead and hit create. That's going to give me my first record. Let's go on and create my second record set. Now you see here it says simple, and I cannot associate this with a health check. So multi-value answer allows me to add more values in. So I'm going to add in my Ohio one, change this to multi-value answer, and I'm going to say, okay, this is Ohio, and I'm going to add this to a health check, which will be my Ohio health check. So there we go. Now we've got our two DNS records. So I'm going to go back over to my browser in here and hit refresh. That is connecting into Ohio right now. Let's go over to our EC2. We'll go over to the Ohio region. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm actually going to terminate the instance, because we're not going to need these instances anymore, because this is the last lecture. So let's go in and terminate this instance. He's been very good to us. There we go. Terminate and hit terminate. So that is now terminating. And what will happen is that the health check is going to start to fail with Route53, and then Route53 is going to remove, is no longer going to serve that record back. So if we go over to Route53, we're going to have to wait for about 20 seconds. So I'm just going to go over to my health checks. I'm just going to pause the video and wait a couple of minutes actually, just to see this health check fail. Okay, so I'm just going to refresh the page, and there we go. We have now got our Ohio one failing. And if I go back over here and refresh, and there we go, it's now going over to the Irish web server. So let's go in and we can go back to our dashboard or to our hosted zones, and we can go in and delete that now. Feel free to go through and delete your EC2 instances. We don't need them anymore. So I'm going to delete these record sets. And yeah, just go through and delete all your EC2 instances, because you will not need them now. So in terms of my exam tips, just remember that multi-value answer policy, what's happening is the user connects into Route53. We're going to have multiple record sets in there in that hosted zone. They can have health checks, and if one fails the health check, we're going to fail over automatically to another IP address. So it's basically simple routing with health checks. So that is it for this lecture, guys. You've done very well. You're at the end of the DNS section. I know DNS is not that sexy a topic, and it can be a bit dry and dull. Don't worry, we're going to go on to VPCs. VPCs are super fun. Then we're going to learn about HA architecture, and then we're going to learn all about serverless. So we've got lots more fun to come. So if you've got the time, please join me in the next lecture. Thank you.